On the edge of the jagged cliffs, where the sea roared like a living beast and waves crashed endlessly against the rocks, stood a solitary lighthouse. Its light had guided sailors safely for generations, but the keeper, Arvind, had a story few knew. He had inherited the post from his father, who had told him as a boy, "This light is not just for ships, it is a promise that even in darkness, someone is looking out for those lost at sea." Arvind took the words seriously. Every evening, long before sunset, he climbed the spiral staircase of the lighthouse, tending the light, polishing the lenses, checking the mechanisms. He had done this for decades, often alone, with nothing but the roar of the ocean and the cries of seabirds for company. Many villagers thought his life monotonous, even lonely, but Arvind knew something they did not. His duty was more than routine, it was purpose made visible. One stormy night, the sea raged with unprecedented fury. Lightning split the sky, thunder shook the cliffs, and waves towered like mountains, threatening to swallow the shore. Arvind lit the beacon and climbed to the top, holding onto the railing as wind tore at his coat. Through the rain and darkness, he spotted a small fishing boat, struggling, tossed like a leaf on the water. Its lights flickered, barely visible in the storm. Panic surged in him. The boat's crew depended on the lighthouse, and yet the storm made visibility nearly impossible. Arvind shouted into the wind, guiding the vessel with gestures, his voice drowned by thunder. He adjusted the lamp, angled the beam, and focused on every detail, every movement, every flicker of light. He remembered his father's words, "Even when it seems hopeless, the promise you keep is the beacon for others. Never waver." Hours passed. Arvind's body was battered by wind and rain, his hands raw from gripping the railing, his vision blurred. Yet he did not falter. He kept the light steady, sweeping the horizon, guiding, signaling, warning. And slowly, through the chaos, the boat responded, steering toward the glimmering path of the lighthouse. The waves crashed, the storm raged, but finally, the fishermen reached safety, exhausted, wet, and grateful beyond words. When the storm passed, the village awoke to tales of the miraculous rescue. Many praised the lighthouse, but Arvind knew the truth. It was not magic nor luck. It was steadfastness, vigilance, and the fulfillment of a promise. A promise made long ago when he was a boy, standing beside his father, watching the light cut through darkness, and thinking, "I will always protect those who are lost." Years went by. Arvind continued his duty, though his body grew weaker and his hair turned silver. He taught the new keepers that the light was more than a mechanical marvel. It was a symbol of commitment, integrity, and hope. He explained that life often resembled a stormy sea, unpredictable, unforgiving, and vast. But for those willing to shine their light, even the smallest beacon could guide others, prevent disaster, and transform fear into safety. One evening, a young girl named Anaya, whose father had been saved by the lighthouse during a storm years ago, asked him why he remained, even in loneliness and hardship. Arvind looked out at the horizon, where the sky met the ocean in fading gold. "The light is not mine," he said. "It belongs to those who cannot see, to those who are lost, to those who hope. And promises are not meant for comfort, they are meant to guide. We do not keep them for ourselves, but for the lives that depend on us." When Arvind finally retired, the villagers built a small monument near the cliffs, honoring the man who had kept his promise for decades. But even as he walked away from the lighthouse, he knew the light itself was eternal. Its flame would continue to sweep the horizon, just as his promise had, silent, steadfast, unwavering. And in that knowledge, Arvind discovered a profound truth about life. The greatest acts are often unseen, the most important work is done quietly, and the courage to keep promises, even when no one is watching, is the measure of true strength. Just as the lighthouse stands against storms, so does a person's integrity stand against life's challenges. The light we keep alive, the promises we honor, And the guidance we offer can transform fear into hope, uncertainty into direction, and chaos into safety. Long after Arvind passed, travelers on the cliffs would see the lighthouse beam cutting through the night, and they would not know the decades of devotion that powered it. But they felt it, they followed it. And somewhere in the heart of every rescued soul, the promise lived on, that even in darkness, a light shines for those willing to trust it.